Hello, I'm Laura. It's January 17th, 2026, and these are the Saturday Heartlines. The Saturday Heartlines are a look at the heartlines and headlines of the past week, the theme and its topics, to see what message arises for us today. And this past week, our theme has been keeping the faith. And each day, we looked at something we can keep the faith in. So starting on Sunday, we looked at keeping the faith in humanity through pursuing peaceful relations with others. On Monday, we looked at keeping the faith in our part in the world as a vulnerable and valuable part of humanity. Yes, we are vulnerable. We make mistakes. We don't always live up to what we think we should be, but we can always pick ourselves up and move forward with faith in ourselves as a valuable part of humanity. On Tuesday, we looked at faith in the power of the people when that faith is sourced by love. For it is love that can overcome violence with peace and hatred with compassion. On Wednesday, we looked at the heartwarming story of the monks traveling 2,300 miles from Texas to Washington, D.C., and sharing peace through prayers, through connecting with others along the way, and through actually just encouraging people to be the peace they want to see in the world. On Thursday, we looked at having faith in the voice of truth and our North Star being the star of honesty. I am honest, and the ability to stand in our truth, and I stand up for what is right. And this takes courage and compassion. And we continued this idea of courage into Friday with the story of Jafar Pahini as we kept the faith in courage and creative expression. Mr. Pahini is an Iranian filmmaker who has made a number of films that speak to the value of human beings, to the struggle we have in oppressive societies, and to how we overcome those struggles by being who we are in our world. And as such, he himself has been arrested, and even though he is in this country promoting one of his films, this country being the United States, where I live, he is promoting one of his films right now. When he goes back, he is probably looking at being arrested again. But his love for his family, his country, and his fellow countrymen actually outweighs what he might fear. And so he continues his path of courage and creative expression. And so can we. We don't have to be global filmmakers. We can just start right where we are and have the courage to share compassion with others. And that brings us to today. With the stories and the topics we looked at this week, what arose from all of this is the power of the human spirit. In fact, the light and power of the human spirit. And I turn back to the North Star from one of our Heartlines this week. It is the light of honesty in discerning what is real and true, and the power to stand up for what is right in supporting the dignity, equality, and love we have for all human beings. So we are going to open our hearts to the power of the human spirit, both in us and in others, as we recognize it by shifting our own inner way of thinking through this time of quiet contemplation. So let's take a deep breath and close our eyes and hold to this faithful idea. I have faith in the light and power of the human spirit. I have faith in the light and power of the human spirit. And so it is. You know, Jesus said, "You are the light of the world," because we carry a light of that spirit within us. Our light and power is sourced by a universal light and power that when we let it shine on the world and its conditions and circumstances, we can see what is ours to do and be, and then stand up in honesty and right alignment with the principle of love in what we do and who we are in the world. So thank you for joining me this week and keeping the faith with me as we continue to move into 2026, making a positive difference in our lives and in our world. Have a wonderful day.